But let's focus in on ELSS funds. Remember, we've seen the inflows this month double. It's a timely discussion as well to talk a little bit about the tax planning. And you've got Morningstar that has some ratings assigned to mutual funds based on criteria such as gold, silver, bronze, as well as neutral. So let's discuss the outlook for these ELSS funds. We have Kaustubh Belapurkar, who is joining in. He's the Director of Fund Research at Morningstar Investment Advisor. Great to have you on board, Kaustubh. Lots to talk about, those individual funds as well that Morningstar has rated. But let's talk about the impact into ELSS funds post the budget announcements. What did you make of that? And do you think that we will continue to see this kind of traction into ELSS flows? Funds, rather.
Yeah, so, I think that's a very interesting thing to talk about. We've obviously seen the impact of the new tax slabs coming in, where people can potentially choose the new tax slabs without the exemptions. And one of the exemptions that is done away is obviously, the ATC under which ELSS would fall. But obviously, you'll need to consider how many people actually go for that, because, every individual will kind of figure out where they lie on the tax bracket. Clearly, the ones with the higher salary brackets will, to my mind, not really go for it. But, in the sub 15 lakh brackets, if we don't really avail too many exemptions. And I feel there are a fair bit of investors, especially in the ELSS side, that do avail of those exemptions in that below 15 lakh bracket. So to my mind, I think there could be a potential impact on the flows, because people will choose the new tax slabs, and ELSS as an investment, a tax saving investment might not be the most popular at that point of time then.
Okay, that's the view coming in. I just wanted to get in a sense from you as well. The latest data is, with respect to the kind of flows that we've seen for ELSS funds seems to indicate that we are seeing some sort of an uptick. The inflows have doubled in the month gone by. Just wanted to know what you make of how investors should be looking at ELSS funds as an opportunity.
Sure. So I think ELSS by itself as a asset class, I think it's a great investment opportunity. I mean, obviously, these are diversified, go anywhere equity funds. And I think the best part about it that, it kind of instills some discipline, given that there's a 3-year lock-in that comes in. So, tax exemptions aside, as a standalone investment itself, I think it's a great option. Obviously, you have diversified open-ended funds with no lock-ins. But like I said, guys who are coming in for the first time, just instilling that little bit of discipline that you can't remove the money for 3 years. In that sense, I think it's a great option. So I would look at it as a regular equity investing opportunity with with a lock-in. So I wouldn't mind each and every investor look at it, even if you don't have a tax exemption attached to it or you can't avail of it.
Now let's dissect the individual funds and Morningstar tracks and the ratings that are given. Among the lot, I did notice a lot of bronze ratings, but there was one that stood out with a silver rating, and that's the Axis Long-Term Equity Fund Direct Plan, the growth option. Give us a sense as to why this fund stands out and what's the rationale for a silver rating.
Sure. So, when we're rating funds, we're looking at a bunch of things. So one is obviously, in terms of the people who are managing the strategy, in this case, obviously, Jinesh, who is, heading up the team there at Axis on the equity side. We have a lot of conviction in him, not just him, but the team that, in terms of his analysts that are backing him up. And more importantly, the second thing is really the process, right? And I just want to touch upon a few important things here. Now, Jinesh has, very, very clearly articulated over the years that we've been speaking to him, that he's got the process of kind of looking for high growth, high quality companies. And he's not averse to paying, a premium valuation if it so demands for the quality and the growth that he's getting from them. Now, that's a style that didn't work for a period of time, say in the period of 2016, early 2017, where 2016 was that classic metals rally, which he didn't hold and kind of went against him. But the proof of the pudding is that, in this market where clearly that style of investing is working, he held on to it, and now he's kind of reaping rich dividends. So I think that's where our conviction comes from, that, even when the cycle was against him, he kind of, stood true to his investing style, and that's really paid rich dividends for him. And that's where we think it's a great strategy, clearly run by a great manager, and we expect that kind of process continuity to stay put with Jinesh and his team.
All right, I'm afraid we'll have to wrap it up at that, Kaustubh. Many thanks for joining in and sharing with us your outlook on the fund flows into ELSS as well as the individual ratings. It's a bronze for the Franklin India Tax Shield Fund,
sure,
the HDFC Tax Saver Direct Plan, as well as Nippon India Tax Saver. And it's a neutral rating on the DSP Tax Saver Fund Growth.